That was it. There was no offline mode. You couldn't play it offline. You had to be online waiting for matches to play it. A lot of people even had issue with that. They're like, man, I just want to sit in training mode to practice. The game wouldn't even let you do that. You had to be online to do it, and people could always challenge you when you were in training mode. So you didn't have unlimited time to sit there and practice. And again, the game these betas only lasted 3 days. So you had 3 limited days to play, then you're done. Completely
I think
shut
I
down,
changed my audio settings to like mono.
You might think, well, that's interesting.
Well,
why was it a closed beta? Because it literally was a beta. They weren't trying to do open server testing. They just were trying to see how the game would perform online, what people's initial reactions were to the gameplay, etc., which is what the purpose of it was. It was never meant to be a widespread thing, and it also wasn't meant to be something that people could micro-analyze.
I can't even tell where that is.
And know exactly the ins and outs of the game. It was meant to be your first initial taste of the gameplay where you can learn basics and maybe some advanced strategies, but not, oh, we've mastered these 8 characters now, you know, and dominated the game and we're ready to play in tournaments. That wasn't supposed to be the point of the betas. You understand? If that were the point, then they would have had an offline
That's what he would do.
where you could have played it infinitely without having people interrupt you with matches. They would have let you play it past the 3 beta days, but that wasn't what they were going for.
Phil would arrest these people.
Test and a taste. Okay? So you might say, well, that's not fair. If people got to play in the 2 betas, they got experience more than most people. True. But at the same time, it's 6 days of experience if you played nonstop. And the last beta was December. They've probably tweaked the game and improved it and changed things since then. So it doesn't really affect things that much, right? It's a very limited experience, not a giant advantage. Maybe a little advantage, but not a giant one. All right? Now, even with those betas, there was corruption. What do you mean by that? Well, it was supposed to be randomly selected players who got it. But somehow, all the notable top players of competitive Street Fighter had it. How? Because people kept giving it to them, or they were buying it from people, which was against the terms of service. No, if you got a code and you gave it away, that wasn't allowed. You were never supposed to be able to do that. It was supposed to be only for you, and if you're not going to use it, you discard the code. It said it right in the terms of service. But people gave that advantage to the top players regardless because they're, I hate to say it, they're ass-kissing ball suckers.
Wow,
it's always been like this in the competitive Street Fighter community. You know, a notable player? Well, we're going to suck their balls. So be sure to give them every advantage and give them every piece of opportunity so that they can do well. So because they're a pseudo-celebrity, give them everything. So let's go ahead and send them the code even though they didn't earn it and get it like the lottery like everybody else. Whatever. This always has happened. It's corruption, and it's always happened in the competitive community. The entire time I was part of the competitive community, and you know, from the 90s and 2000s, this shit always happened. Oh, we're in a tournament, and we know that this cabinet works perfectly, and this one doesn't work very well. Let the top players play on the better cabinet.
That just makes sense, dude. Why would you put Steve Wiebe on a fucking Donkey Kong machine that works like garbage, dude? Wouldn't you want to put him on a better machine? It doesn't make sense.
It's always been like this. It's always, they get all the fucking advantages. It's bullshit, all right? Now, outside of that, the real problem with the beta
Phil wants people to suck his balls.
Once the beta went offline, there were different versions of it. Well,
you eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
On consoles are very limited, but when you put something on PC, you're opening it up to a lot of issues. And when they had this beta on PC, someone found a way to crack it. What that means is that they broke the time-limited portion of the beta. Now, can you play the beta online if you cracked it? No. But you can play it infinitely offline. Essentially, what you can do is make an empty lobby, an empty Battle Hub lobby, and sit there and play it infinitely by yourself in training mode or with another local partner, I guess is the way it works. So there's been people who hacked this thing, essentially, distributed it all over the internet. Thousands of competitive players have gotten access to it on PC and have been playing this thing nonstop since December. Yeah. So those 8 characters, Ryu, Ken, Guile, Kimberly, Jamie, Luke, I keep forgetting them. But anyway, those 8 characters basically are now understood from the ground up by the competitive community because people had unfair access to them. They were never supposed to have that access. Because now...
Yeah, he doesn't even compete, dude. You don't even compete. Why do you care, dude?
People know how to play with them competitively. They shouldn't have had access to them. Now oh, look at this insane combo, 80% damage combo. Well, that should have been figured out, maybe a month into the game, not before the game's fucking out. So what ends up happening now is anyone who has a gaming PC and anyone who got access, which is pretty much anyone who wants it can get it in the competitive fighting game community, right? Have been playing this and have mastered these 8 characters, and they will have an unfair...
That's one of the main reasons, Phil? Oh, you don't have a gaming PC, so you can't do that, can you? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I wonder if Phil had a gaming PC. I wonder if he would have done the same thing. But you can't, because you don't even have a PC, because you're whack and you're on level 1.
Competitive advantage when the game releases. Now, everyone seems to have a different opinion on this, all right? One notable Japanese player by the name of Momochi. This is a pro-level player who's won tournaments, major tournaments and everything, has come out publicly in an interview and said the following. I feel like those playing on the cracked version should be permanently banned.
Wow.
Capcom is being too soft. There are certain overseas players who have even shown the crack on stream, tweeted it out, and there are no repercussions. This is absolutely correct. Here's what's happened. Everyone in the competitive fighting,
the Asian DSP,
knows that the beta was cracked, and everyone knows how to get it, but Capcom has taken no official action on it whatsoever. In fact, they haven't even publicly acknowledged it, because their handling of it is, don't mention it, and hopefully it won't spread too far, and then it won't be a big deal.
Momochi is just like reality, DSP, apparently.
That's not true. What it really comes down to, in my opinion...
Oh, I need that.
...is that really there's no way to enforce it unless you really want to change the whole emphasis of how the community works. So, let's say, for example, a notable player has outright stated on their stream, I've been playing the cracked beta and I mastered these characters because of it. How are you going to ban them from the Street Fighter community? First of all, Capcom doesn't even run the tournaments besides Capcom Pro Tour. So, how would you ban them from any other tournaments? You don't run them. You're not even responsible for them, right?
True.
What are you going to do? Try to seek out any online accounts that are tied to that pro player
on
PlayStation Network or PC or Xbox and ban those accounts from playing Street Fighter Online? What's to stop them from just making another account?
True.
Right? So essentially what's happened is Capcom created a monster. And sadly, they don't have a way to control the monster.
Come on,
like
bro.
Frankenstein, but they don't have a failsafe.
Your aim is not that good, dude.
There really is no possible way to enforce a ban for people who are doing this, even though a lot of people agree this has been a cheating tactic. How is it fair that you have had unlimited access to a game that no one should have access to for 4+ months, and now you're going to know the ins and outs of 8 fucking characters of the game at launch? And it would be one thing if you're just playing the game casually, but there's going to be competitive tournaments. There's going to be $1 million on the line in the Capcom Pro Tour this year for Street Fighter 6. And now people have an unfair advantage. How is that fair? Right? It's not. It's completely ridiculous. It's already problems and the game's not out yet. Now, the funny part about this is there's another part of the Street Fighter community that are feeling differently. But there was always an unfair advantage. This is very true. There was always an unfair advantage. However, the unfair advantage was always in favor of the Japanese. Okay? Why? Now, Jasper's sitting on my lap again. Jasper, I'm sorry. You can't sit on my lap during the podcast. The third time I got to tell him. Why? Well, because Capcom is a Japanese company.
Oh, a little taste of your own medicine there, buddy.
Make these games.
There you go.
And play test them in Japan. You'd go to Japanese arcades,
that?
and these games would be in Japanese arcades first before they ever went international. So the Japanese competitive players would get to play these games months in advance, sometimes a year in advance. Sometimes these games would release in Japanese arcades full-fledged 6 to 8 months before the international release, and the Japanese players had almost a year advantage on the rest of the world. Okay? So here's the deal. Back then, it wasn't that big of a deal because there wasn't that much international competition. There really wasn't online tournaments back then. They didn't exist. If you wanted to go to a tournament, you had to fly across the globe. Well, realistically, how many people do you think flew from Japan to the U.S. or U.S. to Japan for these kind of tournaments? Especially when there wasn't big money on the line, because back then, there was no sponsorships, no teams, no partnerships. You didn't make money playing competitive Street Fighter. So Japan always had a competitive advantage back then. I remember a Japanese player some of the few of them that would come to Evo would completely dominate every game they played. Like literally every fucking game. Because they had an advantage, because they've been playing the games much longer at a competitive rate. They knew a higher level of gameplay than most of the Americans, because they had that unfair time advantage. Okay? So, the argument now amongst some of these people in the competitive fighting game community is, oh, you see, well, back in the day, the Japanese always had the advantage, and no one said anything. But now, the tables have turned. Now, we cracked the beta, we have the advantage, but now all of a sudden, everyone's up in arms about it. Well, isn't that a double standard? No! It's not a double standard. The 90s and early 2000s, the arcade culture is not the same as modern day competitive fighting games. There was no giant scale tournaments, no giant prizes to be had, no online play. None of what people are trying to do to justify this justifies it. It's outright wrong, legally and morally and competitively, in 3 completely different ways. Getting this advantage is not right. There's no way you can actually justify doing what these people are doing. They just want to cheat to get ahead. And that's
not
sad.
true.
But that's the mentality of the fighting game community, ladies and gentlemen. Ever since I was part of it, I saw people getting...
Phil, it's not fair to lump everyone together and say that that's what everybody does, what everybody wants, dude. I think that's unfair, dude.
Unfair advantages. Again, top player shows up late to the tournament, but doesn't get disqualified. Instead, everyone who's in their bracket has to wait for them to show up, and then they get to play their matches whenever they feel like. Top player gets to play on the one great working cabinet, while everyone else has to play on shoddy cabinets that don't work half the time. Huh? Top players come in and their eyes are completely fucking dilated. Why? Because they're on performance-enhancing drugs and no one tests for that shit. So they're all on them and they're going, they're flying around, you know what I mean? Doing crazy reactions and shit. Why do they have that? Right? Top player literally has their entire life financed by someone. So,
bro, listen to this fucking guy, dude. Phil, it's not hard. You just go to the doctor and ask them for fucking Adderall, dude. Like, it's really not hard. You could do the same thing. You have the same options, Phil. And I don't think it's fair to be hating on people for their medical conditions. You know, someone who has said in the past how much they hate when people make fun of medical conditions, you know. That's kind of fucked up, man.
they can go to every tournament, and that's their life. I couldn't tell you how many top players back in the day were literally at the big East Coast tournament, the big Texas tournament, the big Chicago tournament, the big California tournament, the big other Midwest tournament. Wait a minute. What, don't you have a life? Don't you have a job? Don't you go to school? Oh, no, my life is I travel. I play Street Fighter. How? Who the fuck is paying for this? Because I have a life. I can't.
Oh, Phil has a life. Yeah, according to Phil, if you have a prescription, if you have ADHD and you take Adderall, sorry, you're not allowed to play video games competitively. According to Phil Burnell. You're just, sorry. That's not allowed. What? Bro, if they did that, literally say goodbye to like every competitive gamer, like not everyone, but like seriously, how many people do you think are popping addies that play video games competitively?
Can't do what you're doing.
Probably a lot.
So that's an unfair advantage. And this was very rampant back in the day. Back when I used to be a tournament player, this was well known. There was a group of like 20, 30 players who were at every fucking tournament, had every advantage, and kissed each other's butt and circle jerked each other. Yes, a lot of notable players you know today are in that group. It's always been like this. It's one of the major reasons why competitive fighting games are annoying and really unfair. It's always been this elitist group of unfair advantage.
Oh, dude,
and it's bullshit. So now what's happened is we're continuing that forward. It's like, so now it's not just the 20, 30 top players. Now it's the elitist group who had gaming PCs now get that advantage, right? It's like, so it's just going to continue. And if people...
Again, dude. Again with the fucking gaming PC. He's so jealous that he doesn't have a fucking gaming PC, dude. He should have taken that RTU deal, Phil.
people say to me, well, Phil, would you ever like to get back into the competitive fighting game community? Well, gee, let me think about this for a second. Let me just really seriously think about how much fun it would be to try to get a fair advantage against all these people who take every opportunity. No! I don't want to get back into the competitive fighting game community. This is exactly why. This is literally the reason why. Because every time you think that you have a chance, you could have a fair shake, you get slapped down. You know, it's remarkable that I ever did as well as I did in the competitive fighting game community. Because I had no community support. I didn't have any team of people supporting me back in the day when I was...
Drug testing and lifetime bans for the FGC.
Placing Evo. When I went to Evo, when I placed 4th place, literally I went by my fucking self. I didn't have anyone supporting me or nothing, you know? I didn't have any advantage whatsoever. That's why it's hilarious when you see my tournament results and people say, oh, it doesn't mean nothing. Literally, it means everything. I wasn't a known top player. I had 0 advantage over anyone, and I kicked everyone's ass. If anything, that should be the case that pointed to say, oh my God, as opposed to, oh, the same guy over the years.
You didn't win, did he?
But people don't want to look at that shit. It's always been like this. So I mean, no. Street Fighter 6, here's how I approach it, okay? Here's what I think. It's going to be a great game. It certainly looks
you thought it was sick. Where was that guy?
Better than Street Fighter 5. They're doing
no,
all
where
the right
was
things.
he?
They've got game modes in that game that are going to appeal to the casual player and to the competitive, or both. For me, I'm kind of both. I'm going to definitely try to learn the characters competitively and play them online, but at the same time, I'm going to enjoy the game offline casually. I maybe like to do sessions of the game over time. Maybe this will be my fighting game that I play over time casually. You know, once a week we do a stream of fighting games, and this will be it, right? But at the very same time, when already the game's not even out yet, and we have these kind of controversies, people literally cheating to have a 4+ month advantage on everyone else in the competitive scene, do you think I give a shit about competitive Street Fighter? I'd be a fucking moron. I really would be. Who the hell wants to be part of a corrupted community like that? Why would I want to be a part of that? Are you out of your mind? You're already setting yourself up for failure and drama if you're trying to be part of that.
Damn, this guy's sick.
Why would you care? You know? It's just going to get worse when big money's on the line. This is the shit that happens. Dude, it's going to get worse and worse. You're going to hear all kinds of horror stories. I'm telling you. So here's how I'm going to cover it. I'm going to play it for myself at home. I am going to play it online competitively. I'll try to learn the characters. But you're not going to see me attending tournaments or caring about my...
He's not going to play it on his own. Never. Ever, ever, ever. He will never play a game off stream. Never.
Competitive.
Except WWE Champions. That's the only exception.
Oh my God, look at Phil's ranked placings online. I don't give a fuck. I'm just going to play it and enjoy it. I hope you enjoy the footage I put out of it. But like I said, we could maybe do community nights where we have people who are, you know, members of the community. Maybe we'll make a clan, the DSP clan or whatever, DSP gaming clan, and people are under it.
Oh my God, no.
I
got to cover this window
stuff
up.
Like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm down for that. I'm down for enjoying the game for what it is. But please, don't think for a moment that I have any aspirations of caring about this game at a competitive level. There's no point. I've been there, done that. I've been through that grind. I've been through those levels of frustration, unfair advantage, and disappointment. There's just no reason for someone in their right fucking mind to care that much about it. It's not going to be fair. It's going to be bullshit. There's going to be corruption. There's going to be people cheating. I've been there, done that in my life. I have no reason to want to do that shit. I'm just going to enjoy the game casually at home and cover it for you guys.
Corruption,
put out a lot of content of it that you like. If you like the game, hopefully you'll join me when we play it together and stuff. And that's where it ends for me. I'm very much still going to be a variety content creator. I'm still going to be making other playthroughs and things. I'm still going to be doing React content. I have no intentions of going so hardcore into this game that now I get to a competitive level and play it in a tournament or anything like that. There's no point. There's literally no fucking point. When already we're not even in the game's release yet and people have cheated for 4 months, why bother, right? And I've already said, I played this game on the Xbox, and if you didn't notice, when we were playing the beta, more often than not, I was playing against players who were on PC, and it was really weird, all right? Really weird, because for some weird reason, every time I played someone on PC, They were doing insanely huge combos, insanely ridiculous reactions, but felt like I was playing in underwater, like slow motion. Because what's happening is PC players are getting a huge advantage. They have very little input delay, and they're getting the best connections, while the console players have more input delay and are having worse connections. But it's crossplay. So you're forced to play against them with an unfair advantage. And there's nothing you can do about it right now. Maybe
That's right. No, you can do something. Buy a PC. How about that?
when the game fully releases, they'll have things to fix that. Right now, there's nothing. And that's what I found. More often than not, when I was playing someone that said I was on PC and I'm on Xbox, why is it that I can't really react to what they're doing, but they're insane reactions to everything I do, right? So, that's what I mean. I'm gonna play it casually. I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna take the same attitude I had with Street Fighter 4. All right? If I like it, then what I'll do is I'll do some series where maybe I try to do a whole stream where I play with one character and try to get good with that character. And then maybe I'll do variety streams where I switch between characters. But I'll have Madness series, and we'll maybe have weekly sessions where we get together and we play online together, which would be nice to have a lobby of regulars who come in and want to play the game. And I am going to do the offline content. I'm going to be doing the single player mode, you know, and enjoying that. But I don't care. Don't ask me to play in a tournament. Don't ask me about what I think about the competitive. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I'm not going to. I'm already completely turned off by this whole situation of people cheating and Capcom literally saying, well, oh well. It's like, well, Capcom, why didn't you use your fucking brain? You know that everything on PC always gets hacked. Everything on PC always gets ripped and stolen. Why the fuck did you make a PC beta to begin with? Like, it really takes a brain.
Because PC is superior, Phil, to stupid console.
To think that maybe people on PC would try to do something, right? I mean, wow, it's just rocket science. So,
wait, why would you? What do you mean, people on PC? What are you generalizing people who use PCs, dude? Saying that we all, oh, what a surprise, PC users hack some shit. I didn't hack nothing. I don't even play Street Fighter, Phil. Why are you putting me in this group?
So, it's their own fault. And now they really have no, like I said, how do you ban a player who did it? I understand. I don't think it's enforceable. Even if you knew, even if someone had a whole stream about it saying, look, I'm playing the rip, I'm playing the crack. There's no way you could keep them on a competitive play. They're going to find a way in anyway. Capcom doesn't even own the tournament circuit. They own one portion of it, the Capcom Cup. That's it. Or Capcom Pro Tour, I guess I should say. Everything else is independently run. So it's not like these independent tournaments are reliant on sponsorship from Capcom. They're not. So it's not like Capcom has any control over them. So people are just going to do what they want. There's no enforcing it, right? Okay.
Some dent will buy
Well,
it.
guys, I'm still gonna enjoy it. I am. I'm excited for my hype event to hype up Street Fighter 6 in May. I'm excited to cover the game for you guys at a capacity, and I hope that you guys will check out my content of it. But understand that it's going to be a more casual approach. It's not going to be a hardcore, oh my god, here's a top level. Like, for example, some people are already asking me, Phil, will you teach us how to play? Will you do tutorials? No. I have no interest in doing that. I'm not a competitive player. I'm not planning to be competitive. I want to enjoy the game, but I don't think I'm ever going to want to understand it at the highest level where I'm going to be able to sit here and do a tutorial for you and teach you how to do stuff. That's really not what I'm about at this point in my life as a content creator, you know? Maybe at one point, but not anymore. So, there you go. All right? If you're down for that, join me for Street Fighter 6. It's going to be a wild time, and there's going to be a lot of coverage of it on this channel. But please understand, this is not going to be something that's going to be high-level tournament play. It was never that with Street Fighter 4 either. And I got very well known for Street Fighter 4, you know, back in the day, some 14 years ago, for being a casual player. The guy who did the Madness series of random characters and, you know, yelled and swore at the online laggy play and stuff like
Madness
that.
of Menage.
That's, again, what I'm going to be
Madness
all about with this
of
one.
DJ.
Hey, look, Phil goes on a crazy tear and gets 500 online wins in a row without losing. And Phil enters an online tournament and Phil at a tournament placing. I don't care. I just want to enjoy the game and be left alone, essentially, by the competitive community that does everything it can to cheat. All right? I've had enough of their shit in my life. I don't need to get back into that drama. Okay? Okay. All right. Story done.
Hey, Phil. Funny to mess around with Phil Burnell, right? Oh, it's real funny. to do these horrible things to him because it's just a joke. No, it's not a joke. It's my life.
Not Phil Burnell, Shill Burnell.
Shill Burnell.
The reason we do it is because Phil begs. Wrong. The reason they do it is because they want to see me suffer.
That's right.
Why did the tractor say you're a pig roach? You don't look like a pig or a roach. I don't know. I don't know what that means. That's one of their memes. I don't actually know what it means at all. Piggy Smalls took me $1, says, own the premium like others. Pigs rise up. Oh my god, here we go again. Another stupid meme. Another stupid meme that means nothing.